Hey guys, today at Phil's house, the Katana is coming together. Come check it out. So we're going to start off this adventure doing brakes today. Start off, I got a new set of pads for these calipers. Go ahead and get them swapped out. And then going to be bleeding out the front brakes because I got a new master cylinder for the front, which will be taking over duty on that. And then do the rear brake and go from there. One new set of pads. Yes, this is by no means the right tool for the job, but it is a tool that does the job. A wood clamp. No shame in my game. Gets it done. So I bought this control set by LKV, and plan is to use the new master cylinder it provides, instead of the original. Of course, OEM is always good, but this thing's been through some shit. I don't know if this master cylinder is still good or not. Either way, she's ugly, she needs work. So, cheap as these things are, I figure I'd give it a shot. See how it is. Plus I got matching on the other side, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, one of my better purchases for bleeding brakes by yourself is one of these pneumatic ones. Just because there's no actual pumps or parts or anything to it. There's nothing to really go wrong with it, aside from leaking. So as long as she holds together. I've had this one for a good couple of years now, probably. Done several brake systems. It'll do a trick, which this will get you very close, but will not get you perfect. Only way to get perfect is to manually do it by hand, but this will at least get you in the ballpark. So let's go ahead and do some purging on this thing. I want to empty this old master cylinder out, clear the line out as much as I can, that way don't make too much of a mess, and then banjo bolt should be exactly the same on the new one. So we will find out as it is universal fitment. Pretty much just blows through and creates a vacuum. I'm hearing quite right. See if we can get anything out of the other side. And we got air all through it, so I might just need to go down the line, bleed everywhere I can. Well, it's been a few days. Went ahead and ordered new brake lines for this thing. So here's the thing about using a assisted bleeder like this guy here. What you're doing is you're pulling a vacuum. Whenever you pull a vacuum, it's going to suck in any air it can find from anywhere. Problem is, threads around here are not very tight on your bleeders. So you probably will have some air pass through around the threads while you're trying to do this. That's going to create a false positive. Because you'd be sitting here trying to bleed this, could just be pulling air around those threads. So that's where the only true way to know you're bleeding something is to do it the old-fashioned way. Pump up the brake, hold it, then release some. So now I'm going to pump this, hold it, release a little bit. That comes out a lot more clear. You don't see near as much air. So the assisted bleeder works to get you close, but to get you there, still best to manually bleed it. Works good for doing fluid changes. You get a lot of fluid out of it in a short amount of time without having to sit here and pump it. But to get air out of it, it's just really not going to do it to get all the air out. Get some feel. Looking clean, not seeing any bubbles. So put the cap back on the reservoir, top it off, make sure that's all working correctly. Well, probably why these things don't want to bleed down. Split these calipers apart. They got a crossover line right here, and that is completely full of crusties, both sides. So, gotta see if we can get this stuff flushed out of the back of here. Otherwise, these calipers are shot. All right, got those passages cleared up. So now it should be working as we should. And they both compress down, so should be alright now. So I got nothing coming out of the rear brake line either. So lesson here, kids, is make sure if you're gonna take off your calipers to hang them on something. So obviously pulling on these brake lines does not do them any good over a few years of calipers just hanging off them. Fortunately, eBay is an excellent source for parts. I found another master cylinder assembly with brake hose for like $10. So replace everything, hope for the best. It is used, but it is also OEM, and hopefully stored a lot better than this bike was. So we'll see what happens between two of them. I should get something that works. So I've never actually owned a bike with a riveted chain. I've always had the standard chain with the master link and clip, but got X-ring chain on this just to make sure that it's strong enough for all the furious power this bike makes. And it's usually not good to have the chain come loose and knock a hole in your engine case. So I put a JT chain on it. It's a rivet chain, X-ring. And now we must compress Mr. Masterlink. And so for that, I have this little kit I just got from Amazon, which we got pins to remove the rivets out of the chain after the fact. We have anvil pieces. Most importantly though, got your breaker, but you have this little guy, which we actually use to press in the chain itself, or link itself rather. So that'll press the link in flush. Got a groove in there. Or there's the other variation, which just has 2 holes go around the rivets. So I'm sure one of those proper for your application. I've seen this one used before online, so we're probably gonna go with this die. And then you just have a pin here to set your actual rivet length. Basically mushroom the end out a little bit. That way it can't come off. Aside from that, the plate is basically pressed on. So go ahead and get this all set up, ready together, and she won't ever come apart again unless you make it come apart. Just gotta press these guys together. Just be mindful the rivets need to come through on it. Last thing you want to do is let this thing get in a bind. So resistance feels to be too much, so let's back off and check it. And just to make sure, if you happen to have dial caliper, you can measure the width of your links to see how wide it's supposed to be. That way you don't accidentally over tighten it. So now, break out my dial caliper. Can be inch or millimeter, really doesn't matter. Just measuring. So .22mm on the dot. 22.10. 21.4. 21.6. And I'm at 22.16, so very close. I could probably go a little bit more. Of course, the other thing is you don't want that to be in binds, so give this just a little smidge more. So we're still free on the chain. Measure again. Right at 22, 21.9, so that should be well within spec. Close enough. Now we shall go ahead and rivet. So now basically just want that fiddle tapping rivet. Like so. And this will close down and actually do the riveting itself. Actually back this off for a second, just see where that pin goes to. You don't want to make it off, otherwise you're going to smash it on. So that's about where we need to be right there. Now we should be in position to make a crimp happen once I find my handle. You just want to feel some movement. As soon as it gets tight, it should be back in the That does look pressed a little bit. Check and see where we're at. We're on 0.2 before. So it seemed to have lost some diameter, so we'll keep going a little bit more. Do a little bit more here. Until it feels tight. Yeah. Sound great. .222 went too far. Crack that rivet, but that's just on the end. So, important thing is gonna hold this link together. So. Did crack that guy, but that will hold it. Found the spec of how far it's supposed to be mushroomed now. You should be in good shape. Now we just gotta adjust the rear wheel. Of course, whoever notches around the swing arm, you just want your main center line notch out here to line up with what amount of notches we need to make this all tight. Basically, you just go one notch at a time on one side. So notch 1, we're gonna go notch 2. Then the other side notch 2. Check it. See where we are at. So we're currently on notch 2, both sides. Ton of slop. Bring it up to notch 3 now. Pretty tight there just before notch 3, so let's go ahead and adjust the rear side mesh.